Thank you for joining me for this video today. We're talking about this beautiful 2020 Infiniti Q50 Red Sport 400 all-wheel drive. One amazing sports sedan, 400 horsepower, twin turbo V6, intelligent all-wheel drive. This thing is amazing. I've been with Infiniti since 2004, so I've seen the whole evolution of our sports sedan from the G35 to G37 to the Q50, and really this is going to be the last iteration of the Q50 till maybe somewhere down the road it will be introduced as an EV. So if you like gas and turbos, 2023 will look like it will be the last year of the Q50 as we know it, and then I don't know yet, it'll likely be replaced by some sort of EV to be determined. The good news is this is not a 2023, but in 2020, after 2020, aside from some updates here and there, some revisions as far as packages go, this is pretty much identical to a 2022 or 2023 Q50. But the one thing it does have that you can't get on a brand new 2023 Q50 Red Sport is Infiniti's amazing direct adaptive steering. This was a really cool technology. Infiniti first introduced a direct adaptive steering on the Q50 when it was first introduced for the 2014 model year. It's what we call steer-by-wire. So under normal driving condition, there's no mechanical connection to the front wheels. It's all handled by electric motors and computers. What are the benefits of that? Well, it can react to steering inputs faster than a human. And you can take a lot of control over the adjustability of the steering. So you can put it in standard mode, we got Sport, Sport Plus, and then we have all these settings, default, dynamic, and dynamic plus. So you can control the weight of the steering ratio. It's quite amazing. And on top of that, it will filter unwanted feedback, so if you hit a pothole or rut in the road that would normally jerk the wheel, that will get filtered out. Alright, so we have this beautiful clean Carfax 2020 Q50 Red Sport 400 all-wheel drive, only 20,193 miles at the time of making this video. We have the original build sheet on this one. It's not completely 100% as low as you can get, but it's pretty close, $60,985 the original MSRP. This has the ProActive package, which gives you a lot of the technology, including the direct adaptive steering. So the ProActive package was a $2,700 option package that gives you intelligent cruise control. So that's the adaptive cruise control, which is really nice. Distance control assist, which will encourage you to slow down with fast approaching traffic, or it will slow it down completely for you. That is a driver's assistance feature, not a safety feature, so don't always expect it to stop automatically. It also does have a forward emergency braking as well. Then we have the direct adaptive steering, which I was just telling you about. Then we have lane departure warning and lane departure prevention, blind spot warning and blind spot prevention. Then we have the active lane control, so that will keep you centered in your lane and follow gentle bends in the highway. So that paired with the adaptive cruise control is what we call level 2 autonomy. It does require you to pay attention and keep your hand on the wheel, but with the adaptive cruise control, that will move with the flow of traffic, and the lane keep assist, that will keep you centered in your lane. That's basically level 2 autonomy. So like I said, you're paying attention, but in certain, or most I'd say, highway driving situations, the car is going to be driving, and it really takes a big mental workload off you when you have those features. Then we have an adaptive front lighting system, high beam assist, and front pre-crash seatbelts. Aside from that, the Q50 Red Sport has a lot of standard equipment. You have this beautiful leather interior, this nice diamond quilted stitching on the side, and adjustable bolsters, beautiful aluminum trim. We were just talking about the drive mode selector, so you have that right here. So you can make changes to transmission shift points. We'll make changes to the steering, obviously, throttle sensitivity. So you have Snow, Eco, Standard, Sport, and Sport Plus, and you can personalize it. You can personalize it right here. Using the drive mode selector, you can drill down a little bit deeper. As you can see, we went over most of these settings. This has a digital dynamic suspension as well, which comes standard in the Red Sport. You don't get that on like the regular Q50. Active trace control brakes individual wheels to help the vehicle rotate better through the corners. You can shut that system on or off. So we have navigation. In 2020 is a great year for the Q50 because it got an upgrade to the navigation system. So you have a crisper, higher resolution display for both screens, and the addition of Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which I know a lot of people like. Power adjustable steering wheel that tilts and telescopes. Then we have these nice steering wheel paddle shifters so you can take control of the 7 forward gears. The Red Sport also has these nice aluminum pedals. This thing's absolutely beautiful in black on black. The Q50 I think is one of the most beautiful sedans on the road. I never grow tired of looking at these things. Like I said, I've been with Infiniti since 2004, so I've been looking at Q50s pretty much since 2013 when we started getting them as 2014 models. And sometimes when I see a beautiful car, like sometimes if I see a Q50 perfectly clean, the way the lighting's hitting it, sometimes my heart will almost skip a beat just about how beautiful it is. I think it's a breathtakingly beautiful vehicle. Really, Infiniti did a really nice job designing it, and there's not a million of them on the road, so you all will feel special when you have a Q50 Red Sport. So this amazing twin turbo V6, 400 horsepower. They have a different blade design in the turbos, different exhaust system, and different engine software to get that extra 100 horsepower versus the regular Q50 with 300 horsepower. Also in the Red Sport, you have a little more of aggressive front fascia. Really looks beautiful, and like I said, you look at a 2022 or 2023 model, you park this right next to it, you're gonna have a hard time telling them apart. They're very, very similar. We have an amazing all-wheel drive system. Rear-wheel drive is standard, but this has the amazing Tesla all-wheel drive system. We've been using this all-wheel drive system for over 20 years in Infiniti products, and the all-wheel drive system goes even further back. It goes all the way back to the R32 Skyline. This all-wheel drive system was actually copied somewhat from the Porsche 959, high-performance supercar from the 80s, 90s, designed for Group B rally racing. The Japanese engineers, the Japanese engineers love to copy things, but they also like to improve upon it and simplify things and often make things more reliable. I think they definitely did that with the case of the Tesla all-wheel drive system. And the one thing that they wanted when developing the Tesla all-wheel drive system is that they wanted a 100% rear-wheel drive bias. And that's exactly what this system does. So under normal driving conditions, it will be a 100% rear-wheel drive bias. So that will give you the feel of a rear-wheel drive sports car. But as soon as those rear wheels slip in a matter of milliseconds, almost instantly, it can actually divert up to 50% of the vehicle's power to the front wheels using a really cool electromagnetic differential. Tesla stands for Advanced Total Traction Engineering System for all terrain, and I can tell you I've driven these in not all terrains, but I've driven them in the wet. I have the same all-wheel drive system on my FX37. I love, like in the wet, getting on a highway ramp, I can just hammer the throttle and let the car kind of get squiggly. It'll kind of go sideways a little bit, but the traction control system and the all-wheel drive system will help rein things in. Quite an amazing all-wheel drive system. If you do drive in the snow, this all-wheel drive system does fantastic in the snow as well. I did a video not too long ago of some lowland snow, me driving a Red Sport, and it did great. You might be limited by like how much height you have. You can't drive in 2 feet of snow, but as far as traction goes, just as long as you don't have the thing buried up to its quarter panels in snow, this thing has amazing traction, and it's very, very hard to get stuck. Well, there you have it, one beautiful example of a Q50 Red Sport, and who better to buy a pre-owned Infiniti from than a new Infiniti retailer like us. We know what to look for on these things. We service them all the time. We work on them a daily basis. Thank you so much for taking the time today to watch this video. Hopefully see you soon, and have a wonderful day.